Okay guys, a bit of progress and a bit of setback on the P53. So I believe I have found the major problem, which actually was an intermittent ground connection on the main filter capacitor. But the wire was right underneath this tone switch. And so, obviously the last time I was too scared, since this is the first project I ever did, I think, I was a little too scared to take this whole switch assembly out so I could do it properly. So I had to go at trying to do it in underneath, and it was a very less than satisfactory solution. Anyway, also this whole switch here was completely gunked up and hadn't been cleaned at all. Even though I had to change some components on it, the switch contacts were just in diabolical condition. So I completely removed this guy, had the whole thing apart, cleaned all the contacts, checked all the components. I think I did change one of the caps that I hadn't changed before. The resistors are all in tolerance, etc. So I put it all back together. Lots of contact cleaning and everything else. Re-greased all the detent mechanism, and so I'd say that's in way better shape now than it was before. And of course, while I had that all out, I did a proper rewiring of the ground connections to the filter caps. So, having done all that, I switched it back on, and nada, not a thing, not a sausage. So, when I went around and felt all the tubes, the audio output valve was cold as a stone. And so, somewhere along the way, the filament of this guy just decided to go open. I don't have a spare of these, so that one's on order, so I gotta wait for that to come in. So, while I was having a look at this thing and reviewing it from, what I had done to it in the beginning, bearing in mind I was, as I said, this was like, when I first started this, I knew almost nothing about valve electronics. When I did this one, I was literally seat of the pants job. Anyway, a bit more confident these days. One of the things I did notice is the iron dust slugs in both of the IF transformers are completely, the top ones are wrecked. So obviously people in the past have been trying to screw them, and it's all messed up and you can't budge them. The slugs from the underneath actually look okay, but I have soaked them in all sorts of things. I've tried heat, I've tried all sorts of things. I cannot get them to budge. And given all the components that have been changed in here, the chances that these things are set up properly, very, very remote indeed. So, looking around in the junk pile, I actually found a pair of IF transformers that I believe are the same. They certainly measure the same, primary and secondary. They're the same physical size. And most importantly, the iron core, the iron dust slugs, top and bottom, are fully adjustable. Because whereas on here somebody had used some sort of paint or varnish or something that I just can't seem to melt, this was just regular wax. And so yes, I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is replace the IF transformers that are in this set with these guys. Only one little snag I got to overcome here now, before I do that, and that is basically how to replace the mica cap that's in each one, because I measured a few of them and they're way off, and so I don't know if you can see how this thing is constructed. I'll attempt to describe it. But essentially what you have, see if I can get my hand out of the way here, is the lead comes in and it goes to one side of the mica cap and then keeps going, and then the other side of this lead is connected to the coil. Same thing on the other side. So the capacitor here is an integral part of the leads to the transformer, and so the challenge is getting this cap out without damaging the contacts to the coil. And I'm not sure yet exactly how I'm going to do this, but my initial thought is to snip these two leads right here, so I don't touch where the joint goes to the wire. Then just remove this and replace it with a 100 puff cap and some strong wires going back out to form the mounting leads here. Some solid hookup wire, something like that, and then reconnect these two little things here to the cap. So it's going to be a little bit hairy, I'd say, but I'm going to give it a go, because I figured, hey, what the heck, I got nothing to lose there, and if I could get this set so I could actually align it properly and all, wouldn't that be cool? Okay guys, so here goes the first attempt. I actually ran out of 100 puff caps, so I got to order some more before I can do the second can. This side here is a little bit Heath Robinson, and so I learned a better technique to do the other side, to do the primary, so I think that looks reasonable, and everything ohms out nicely, so I think we're good at this stage. So I'll just make sure, I'm pretty sure nothing is going to touch the casing, but I'll make sure that nothing shorts the case, and then we'll do the other one. Just as a by the by, these are the two mica caps I took out of the IF transformer, and just for fun I cleaned them all up and measured them, since I went to so much trouble replacing them. So this one measures 101 picofarad, this one measures 102 picofarad. So the whole exercise was unnecessary, because these are probably more accurate than the ones I just put in. So obviously I'm not going to do it on the other one. But good news is, means I can continue with the project as soon as the audio output valve arrives. I just thought that was funny, that these guys are so spot on. I'll probably keep them for something else. Okay, so I have replaced the audio output valve, and I think we're kind of back to where I started here. In other words, the set is functioning again now, but I have this instability and this rumble, depending on tone and volume controls, and it's not predictable and it's not repeatable. So I'm going to see if I can demo the problem, the symptom. So when you have a certain level of volume, normally there's no problem. But if I turn the volume down, especially if I mess with the tone control, you see I get this. I turn the volume up. Turn the volume down. Now in this tone control setting, I can actually turn the volume down and the rumble doesn't come back. But I can get the rumble in pretty much any tone setting. Okay guys, I think we got the instability, the rumble sorted out. Turned out to be this EBC41 detector. Having gone through the circuit in fair detail, I realized I had actually changed most of the components around this valve, and I thought it can only be the valve itself then. So I replaced it, and it's been going good for about a half an hour now. and I can mess with the tone control. And it doesn't start oscillating, so I think I'll let it run for a while, but I'd say we're good. So as far as that part of it is concerned, so then I'll get on to are there other parts of it I want to gotta consider if I'm going to do these IF transformers, because I have the full alignment instructions, and so yeah, it would be nice to tune this thing up and have it as good as it can be.